a good day when it comes, because we've had steady, rock solid for the entire trading day today, about a couple of percentage points for the Nifty bank. So this one is clearly participating, and the broader end of the spectrum not doing too badly either. So you had the mid caps and the small caps not in the same vein as the large caps, but doing okay. You can understand that because it's not an all-round participation on the large cap space, mind you. Yes, stocks are in the green, but it's Bharti, SBI, ICICI Bank, three heavyweights moving up in a big way, which is leading to the move on the index. Speaking of those stocks, let's just look at the Sensex movers and you'll get a sense of what I'm talking about. Yeah, those are the top three gainers: Bharti, SBI, ICICI Bank. And when you add on an HDFC to that list, which is a heavyweight, you know that you are in good times for the index. So those four, then HUL and TAMO, and then it's just about 1.5% for most stocks. It's not really big bang moves for a lot of others. So the top 3 or 4 are really the big contributors in trade. Now let's take the camera bang to the bottom of the screen. Not too many losers. Now let's just take it down and you will see that Dr. Reddy's is the key culprit, which is down about 3%. But aside of that, not too many losers either. Cipla, Sun Pharma, but those really pale in comparison to the kind of gains that we've seen in the banking stocks. I guess those have percolated to the mid-cap end as well, but Navneet, the mid-cap end is buzzing with a bunch of stocks, not necessarily just banking.
And the good news is it's on back of earnings, but I'm going to start off with the banking counter. Syndicate Bank, what a move that counter saw post its numbers. Provisions were down, improvement in asset quality, healthy bottom line growth is what Syndicate Bank posted. So finally you saw the stock closing with steady gains of almost 8%. The PSU space was buzzing today. So Dredgen Corp, just in that last half an hour, you got the news confirmed that the government will be exiting its entire stake of 73.3%. The stock was locked in upper circuit with gains of almost 20%. Well, a rub-off impact seen for Shipping Corp as well. That stock also saw substantial gains, finally closing with gains of about 11%. Bharti Airtel posted better than expected numbers, and a rub-off impact was seen for Idea as well. That counter surged almost close to 9% in today's session. No, almost 6 to 7%. That's where it closed. From the FMCG pack, earnings reaction and brokerage increasing the target price of Dabur after the company posted 7% volume growth for the September quarter. So that counter did pretty well. GSK Consumer is the other one which saw good gains in today's trade. Well, from the realty pack, you had Indiabulls Real Estate, a counter which came out of the F&O ban, saw good gains, but towards the end saw a bit of cool off, but still the stock closed with gains of over 4%. And finally, Ashok Leyland, the numbers were not that great. I'm talking about the October sales number, and the stock actually came crashing down, closing almost at day's low with cuts of 3%. And finally, the footwear stocks were up and about today. Relaxo saw good gains in today's trade. In fact, the entire space was up, but particularly Relaxo closed with gains of almost 9%, Pradeep.
Well, so it was a century for Nifty and a half century only for small caps. So mid cap and small caps were kind of lagging behind. Let's see what was the big picture. And if you look at it, in the beginning, we had a clear move towards advances. Its opening was really strong, but mid cap and small cap saw profit booking through the day. And towards the end, well, advances were still higher by at least 20% than declines, but the margin kept shrinking through the day. That's a clear picture. Another thing, if you look at it, is the Nifty Bank. Can we look at the 6 months chart of Nifty Bank? That would be interesting to see. We actually hit 25,000 for the first time in August, and since then we have been in a range 24 to 25, 24, 25. But this time, this is a breakout and an all-time high. So this is very interesting. And on such a day, you must look at the turnover, because that tells you whether or not the price movement is supported by the volume really. And you look at it, the total number 38,000 is the Nifty cash, and the BSE cash is NSE cash, and BSE cash is around 5,000. So that's 42,000 crore. That is really a big number in cash market. So really delivery-based buying probably happening in banks and also elsewhere. Let's look at some more stocks. Navneet really talked about Dredgen Corporation, but that was not the only stock. If you look at it, STC, not the Shriram Transport, but State Trading Corporation is what I'm talking about. This stock also closed at the circuit. Look at MMTC. And there are two more stocks, IFCI and MTNL. These stocks were also buzzing in today's trade and finally closed strong, maybe because of low ticket price. These are also traders' favorites, so they always move whenever there is a talk of some activity on PSU side. So this is what it was. Torrent Power is one more stock that really moved up in last minute.